Yeah.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Going for Two. I am Keywon Humphreys, and this Jimmy Butler situation is getting kind of weird. You know, news just dropped. Shams just dropped news saying that the Miami Heat are planning to suspend Jimmy Butler for 2 more games. Now, this is coming maybe 1 or 2 games after he's gotten back from a 7-game suspension for conduct detrimental to the team. So this whole Jimmy Butler situation is like, okay, Miami, if you're doing all this, just trade the man. Let the man go. I understand that you're remaining adamant. Pat Riley's remaining adamant for some reason to keep him. And this situation, this relationship between Jimmy Butler and his team is too far gone. There's no way. Me personally, I don't think we're gonna see Jimmy Butler in another. I don't think we're gonna see Jimmy Butler in a Heat uniform for another game. I don't think it's gonna happen. We saw the cracks and the rumors come before the season started when the Miami Heat did not extend Jimmy Butler's contract. But now it's become a toxic situation. And that's the last thing you need around a team that's trying to make the playoffs, that is going out there competing every single night, not knowing if your so-called leader, Jimmy Butler, is going to be there. If he's going to be there and he's going to be playing his best. We've seen games where Jimmy Butler would score the first basket of the game and then not take another shot to like the third or fourth quarter. And if he's going to be out there playing like that, just sit him. And I think a game like that was the reason for him being suspended the first time. I'm not fully sure why he's being suspended again now, but something has to give. I know Pat Riley wants to be the big man, he's like a mob boss to me. You know what I'm saying? A mafia boss. I remember back to the story of when LeBron decided to sign him and Chris Bosh. Pat Riley laid his rings on the table. And he said, come on. And LeBron said, bet. That same stain, that same, I guess, power or resume, that same whatever it is not prevalent in Miami anymore. Miami, I would say they've struck out on getting many stars to come to the city. Big thing with me was Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard was the biggest name that was tied to Miami for a minute. And he ends up going to the Milwaukee Bucks, I'm sorry. And a big thing that, because we hear news every single day about Jimmy Butler and his time there. Jimmy Butler came out a couple weeks ago and said he urged Pat Riley to say, hey, get me some help. We made the finals twice with me here. Get me some help so that I can go win it. And the Heat just didn't do that. The Heat did not do that. And you can tell now that frustration has overcome. It's become even more prevalent. You look at the guys that the Heat were competing against, the Boston Celtics. They'll go out and get Jrue Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. As mentioned earlier, the Milwaukee Bucks go out and get Damian Lillard. And the Heat have not had no real sign. Heat are pushing the same team pretty much that they were pushing back in the bubble in 2020. The core is still there. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Tyler Hero. Those 3 guys are still the head of the team. And in a conference that's getting better every single year, where guys are teaming up, teams are building their roster, the Heat have remained stagnant. So the question now asks, okay, do we go all in on a soft rebuild? Because Bam is still young, Tyler Hero is still young, but Jimmy is our 35-year-old vet, the best player on our team. He wants out. I say let's let him go. Let's let him go. And that brings me to what I said earlier, how I don't think Jimmy Butler plays another game in the Heat uniform. The Phoenix Suns yesterday made a trade for 3 first-round picks. They traded away their 2031, their own 2031 pick, for 3 first-round picks. I want to say one's in 2021, 25, one in 2027, one in 2029. They traded for them 3 first-round picks, and I think they're going to put together a move to go get Jimmy Butler. Of course, they're probably going to have to add Bradley Beal to that deal, but that's fine. That's fine. So I think the next time we hear Jimmy Butler's name is going to be a trade announced, because this situation has gone way further than it has needed to go. And it just sucks. Jimmy Butler, this is another team he's forced himself out of. We think about the Minnesota Timberwolves situation where he went into their practice and tore up everybody and then left and got on an interview with Rachel, what's her name? Whatever her name is. But he went on an interview. We know about the Heat, not the Heat, but the Bulls, and how he forced his way out the Bulls. How he had a situation with the 76ers, and how, it was him or me, and they picked the other guy. And this is yet another team in the Miami Heat that he's forcing himself out of. to move on with his future, you know. And I believe, a bunch of news coming out about Jimmy Butler. I just want to talk about the basketball. Jimmy Butler is responsible for some of the greatest Miami Heat playoff performances we've ever seen. He's taken a roster that was not finals worthy to the finals twice. And it sucks that it has to end this way, but I don't want to discount. I don't want the end of his Heat tenure to overrule and override everything that he's done in that uniform. Because to me, he's one of the best Miami Heat players of all time. And I'm not saying he's one of the best players to put on a Miami Heat uniform. I'm not saying that, but he's one of the best players for the Miami Heat. Like, he's done a lot for them, aside from winning a championship. But you look at the teams that won championships, they're way better than the team that he dragged to the championship twice. So we're waiting news to see what's gonna go on with this. The Suns, like I said, the Suns have emerged as most likely the next destination for Jimmy Butler, and I'm interested to see how that's gonna look. Kevin Durant, I keep saying Dame, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Jimmy Butler, along with Tyus Jones and whoever they got. They just picked up Nick Richards, who looks pretty good. He looked pretty good in his first game with them. But I'm interested to see how that looks and how that works. But if that trade goes down, we will go more in depth with how that team's outlook is going to look throughout the rest of the season. But I just want to come on here and hop on and talk about this Jimmy situation, man, because it's a lot, and I'm just anxious to see what's going to happen next, because we haven't had a big trade yet during the season. The trade deadline is in a couple of weeks. February 6th, I think, is the trade deadline. So something's got to give really, really soon. But until next time, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe, share with y'all folks. Going for 2, we out of here. Yeah.